Hello, hello. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to the Ongoing Mastery Rabbit Hole. This is my latest venture. This is the thing that I want to put my time and energy into, and I hope that you will join me. I'll be doing this on Tuesdays and Thursdays right about this time, and I will be live streaming it to YouTube. And right now, I'm live streaming to also LinkedIn and Facebook to give everybody kind of a heads up on the new venture. Hi. So today I want to explain what ongoing mastery your rabbit hole is, why on earth I'm talking about LawTube, and what Neurospicy has to do with it. So the first of all, I want to bring up a couple of quick things. And one of them is this little what is graphic, because a lot of times people will use terminology in their videos and they won't necessarily take the time to stop and explain it. So let's start with what I mean when I'm saying neurospicy. Now, neurospicy, I'm going to pull up the Urban Dictionary definition here. This basically is neurodivergent. Neurodivergent as in the terms of ADHD, autism, extreme depression, anything where you are slightly off the beam in how your brain processes and deals with input and information. The reason why that is valuable to me is because I have been like that my whole life, and I really enjoy seeing other creators, other educators who are able to showcase that in a way that is a positive, in a way that brings in community, brings in other people. So I'm talking today about LawTube. And clearly need my coffee. What is LawTube? LawTube is literally YouTube lawyers. So there's a lot of lawyers that are now live streaming on YouTube. And if that does not sound exciting to you, that tells me that you have not ever seen them, because they are fun, they are dynamic, they're engaging, they are informative. And in general, at least the population that I follow are good at having reasonable minds can differ arguments, discussions, and debates. And I started with a very specific person in the LawTube community, and that would be the amazing and talented Emily D. Baker. Emily D. Baker is kind of the in many ways the queen of LawTube. Let me pull up her window here. Oh, I closed the tab. Well, we are professionals. I'm going to open up the tab and just bring you to it that way. So the thing about Emily is she has this really fun, there she is. Coffee and Cursey Words is her, one of her channels, one of her ways in. And the fun thing about her is former prosecutor, hyper intelligent, sarcastic, irreverent, charming, theatrical, very, very good at explaining detailed cases of law, pop culture, and going into the areas, you'll see that there's a whole tree of connection of these people, because a lot of them are now friends and a lot of them show up on each other's streams and have made a larger community. In fact, I think a lot of them right now are at CrimeCon, and there's actually a community gathering there. So it's become a much more powerful community-oriented group than when it started. And for me, where it started was in the Depp Heard trial. I started following LawTube displays on it because I wanted to know what the information was. And I also was coming in with a very strong bias, and I knew that. And I thought, well, I want to see what's going on. And in the course of this, I actually shifted my perspective to essentially the opposite point of view. And I learned a lot of things about how law is done, how the impact of televised, and media, the impact of community, and so on. And I spent a lot of time really enjoying the way Emily D. Baker does her performances. And when I say performances, I don't mean that they are not authentic. One of the wonderful things about this particular group of people that I'm introducing you today is they are all very, very straightforward. They are very authentic. They will debate with each other. They will argue with each other. They will, absolutely hold court, but they are not in any way trying to snow you. They are showing you, this is my perspective. This is how I see it. By the way, this is the way the law is. Here's the framework you want to bring to it. And it's all wrapped into a really wonderful showcase that applies to the ongoing mastery of what I do. So presenting and training the public speaking and stagecraft skills that I work with people on is really well showcased in Emily T. Baker's work. Not only is she very, very good at expression and body language, and she has very good voice control. She set up her environment. She uses sound effects. She's got props. She interacts with the community. There's a lot of elements of being able to do a very strong, dynamic performance that is educational, informative, realistic, engaging, and it's things that instructional designers, lawyers, cybersecurity professionals, engineers, executives, if you are doing something where you need to get across detailed information to an audience and have an impact, there are people that you would you would find value in watching. And this is one of them. From Emily, I went and discovered the next person in the tree, which was Rob of Law and Lumber. And I say Law and Lumber because, yes, that is his handle. And it is literally a family planning lawyer by day who on weekends and evenings does woodworking. So Law and Lumber. And has a really good sense of humor, a great perspective, very refreshing way of putting out challenging information for people and explaining it in a way that is helpful, especially when sometimes the topics are a little divisive. And he'll have lots of people on his stream, all of different personality types, some of different levels of prickliness, and is very upfront in what is expected of them, of the audience, of the engagement. It's a really good way of showcasing his skill set is excellent at showcasing facilitation skills. So I'm going to go ahead and bring back up the YouTube here, and I will go to Rob Law and Lumber. And I had all of these set up before, but this is the second version of the live stream I'm doing because the first one had some glitches. So again, we're professionals. And you'll see there's lots of different elements on his stream. And again, how not to give an opening argument, things like this. Really, really useful, really helpful things. Then we also have Ian Runkle. Now, if Runkle of the Bailey does not make sense to you as a joke, then you are not of a certain cultural and age group specific demographic. So just Google Rumpole of the Bailey and you will understand what the joke means. He is a firearms expert and also a public defender attorney. So here you'll see Canadian law very specifically focuses on issues related to, not only what is going on with how the defense is dealing with the case, how the law should be done from a defense attorney perspective, but again, tied in with the rest of the community how you want to do it in a theatrical way. And actually, I realized that I was not sharing that screen. So now I'll be sharing that screen. So here we go. Runkle of the Bailey. And let me go back to Rob. Law and lumber. And one of the things that I will try to do in the future is have a second stream up where I can see what's actually being shared live so that I won't make this mistake again. But this is the first one, and I've already done this once already. So I'm going to go ahead and let these errors stand. And you can just see that, yes, indeed, you can be a professional public speaker and still make lots and lots of live mistakes. Oopsie. I am going to do a quick transition. And let me just throw this little rabbit up here. What do all of those things? The LawTube, Emily D. Baker, Rob of Law and Lumber, Ian Runkle of the Bailey. What does that LawTube group have to do with public speaking, technical training, being able to be good at train the trainer, being able to be good at speaking in front of a board of directors? One of the things you want to look at is you want to look outside of your area of expertise at how people are using their voice, using their face, using their media, especially in this case, in the online setup. Because doing things in an online medium is a particularly challenging way of doing public speaking. It's very powerful, it can be very effective, but it is different than in-person presenting. And it requires different skill sets. So it's always good to go down the rabbit hole of finding the people that bring you in and engage you, and then look at it and figure out why. Because that's a skill set that you can then incorporate for yourself professionally. So it's not a bad thing to go down these rabbit holes, provided that you then tie some value to them, you tie some meaning to them. Now, what I'm going to be doing in the course of this series is taking us from LawTube all the way to passion flicks. Yes, the rabbit holes are deep and vast. They contain multitudes. I have discovered so many different types of presenters, ways of conveying information in this particular rabbit hole that started with Emily and went just off on its own merry chaos, that I wanted to create this series to share that, because I want to showcase all of these different ways of utilizing breath control, voice control, facial expressions, use of language, the impact of positive performance, the impact of negative performance, and how that can in fact make a huge difference in your career and in the lives of the people around you. So there's going to be a lot of these. I'll be doing these twice a week. If you have, and I'm going to transition one more time to make a little bookmark so that YouTube is good to create a little chapter for me. Let's throw up this like, share, and subscribe. I am doing this and taking my existing YouTube channel that I've had forever, and I am bringing it essentially, I'd say, back from the dead, except that it never was not dead. So it's not back. I'm taking an undead creature that has all of 27 wonderful subscribers, and I love you to death. Thank you, all 27 of you. And I would like to actually build it into something. So please like, please subscribe, please share, because I would like ongoing mastery of presenting and speaking and training skills to be something that is easily shared with anybody who would value it. That is what today's 10-15 minutes is about. Today is Thursday, so I will be back next Tuesday with another round of Rabbit Hole. Please make comments. Please let me know what you think. Provided it's not just straight trolling, I will answer all of the comments that I get. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. Have a great day.